My... I hate how sensitive these things can be sometimes. I didn't even try to hit the record button, but here I am recording, making a fool of myself because I don't edit. So here I am going on this long tirade before I get into the intro. Welcome to Ban This, the show where I take a look at a piece of art and make an argument as to why some people might think it'd be a good idea to either outright ban it or at least make some good choice cuts. February 29th, the last day of Human History Month, where I, highlight a film that highlights the most beautiful aspects of our species. So today, I am looking at Accidental Courtesy. Daryl Davis, Race, and America. So, what could be so offensive about this documentary? I think the people that would find this film the most problematic, other than, maybe like some sort of a white ethno-nationalist that, doesn't like the idea of interracial marriage, but I'm not focusing on them. I'm focusing on the people on the other side, the people on the left. They are the ones that might find something a bit problematic of this film. Mainly the fact that this is a very balanced film. It's really not taking... It's kind of pretty sitting on the fence, but it's still leaning to the left. It's just barely. I mean, this kind of film, I don't really think you could do it 100% in the middle. You almost have to go one way or the other. This definitely goes a little bit to the left. Like, I don't really think it was necessary to bring up Christopher Columbus. But they do, talk about how awful he was. But it's brief, and it's just things like that. Otherwise, boom, dead in the center. And that is what I'm going to be focusing on as to my actual thoughts, and as to why I like this film, and as to why the censorious people on the left would want to get rid of this. So, Daryl Davis, he's a musician, and one of the things he does is he goes around, find, concentrations of, like Klan members, and, white nationalists, and things like that, And he has a conversation. He doesn't call him a racist, a bigot, or a homophobe, sexist. No, he doesn't do that. He sits down and he talks. He treats them like equals. He goes and is like, obviously, I don't agree with some of your thoughts, but I want to know where you're coming from. I want to have this discussion. I want to have a debate. Some people... some people, if you're too far, one way or the other, they don't even want to have a discussion with you. Or if it is, it's going to be very one-sided, consisting of them spewing out their hatred at you for being a hateful person. And this really, and the balancedness of this film really comes into light when he's talking. I don't remember the guy's name offhand, but he's part of the Southern Poverty Law Center, I believe. That's what it is. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I should have said it close enough that you'll be able to do some research and find out what they are. So, talk to them about the Southern Poverty Law Center. Him, them, and Daryl essentially have a similar idea. They want to, stop racism as much as possible. And I'm so glad they had this moment in there, because it really helps to show like how different people can be when they trying to do the same thing. Like Daryl, he's willing to take time, He really tries to grow friendships and see each person as just that a person. They have their flaws and whatnot. But with the Southern Poverty Law Center, they fight it. He used 2 words. One of them, I think it might have been, maybe he used dismantle or something. I don't think that's what it was. But he definitely uses the word marginalize. And that just shows to me like just some kind of hypocrisy there. So, you want to stand up for the marginalized people by marginalizing other people. The equity of, marginalization. I wish I knew what the other word he said. Yeah, marginalizing. And then another thing, very shortly after that, we have J.C. Folk. He is the organization, in one of the organizers for Black Lives Matter. And when he comes on, he comes in later. Initially, it's a discussion with 2 other people, 2 other, black guys, younger, about my age. Which sounds about right, because, some of us millennials, we really have a tendency to be pretty racist, especially when it comes to white people. And I'm talking about internalized racism as well. But yeah, he gets in a bit of a feud because they don't agree with him. If you know what, Black Lives Matter, they're very extremist. Or at least they definitely come off as extremists when put next to this guy who just wants to talk. Oh, they get in such a feud. They're to like, oh, you only got 25 robes since 1990. That's nothing. 25 robes. He's got 25 more robes than you did. He has a body count for the people's lives that he helped change. What does Black Lives Matter have? What do they got to show? Some burnt dumpsters? And some of the racism that's kind of gathered around that, that movement is definitely rears its ugly head in this film. Like one of the one of the quotes that I remember pretty vividly that JC says is, "You look like you have some black in you, but you sound like you should be wearing a hood." That is the kind of stuff that I hate, and that is why I wanted to highlight this film. I didn't realize it was going to highlight it. This film was going to highlight what I want to highlight, since I bought this on speculation, because I thought it would be a good topic. But yeah, the fact that this movie makes the Ku Klux Klan look like an outstanding bunch of guys as opposed to Black Lives Matter, it's wow. It's not going to settle right with some people. And they would call this movie racist, even though they didn't do anything. From what I can tell, the snippets of conversation doesn't sound like it's edited too much. This movie, if they edited the conversations in this film, it'd feel totally different. I wouldn't have any empathy for the Klan members. And this movie makes me feel empathy for the Klan members. You know, they're saying their opinion, but they're saying it. They're not yelling. They're not walking off because they don't like where the discussion is going. Then when we get to Black Lives Matter, where it just becomes a very one-sided shouting match, essentially calling someone a race traitor because they had the audacity to have a discussion with somebody with a differing opinion. And some people aren't going to like that. How dare this film be balanced? How dare this film show people with a similar skin color thinking differently? Like some people, they'll call this guy an Uncle Tom, a coon, race traitor, because he shows people respect regardless of the color of their skin. I mean that. The same amount of respect that he shows for the Klan members is the same amount of respect that he shows for Black Lives Matter. But the outcome is so much different. Yeah, people who are saying black people can't be racist, whatever. I hate that privilege plus not privilege, prejudice plus power thing. You don't need power to be racist, as clearly evidenced in this film. Now, what do I think of this film? It was better than I was expecting. Now, I was expecting to find a decent movie. I mean, I like the message. The message, on the power of discourse. Especially now, it's something we need. Because I just didn't think this film was going to be quite as balanced as it was. Like, I wasn't expecting to see him talk, to Black Lives Matter or their Southern Poverty Law Center. But he does, and it shows how very different people try to fight for the same thing. Like, the three groups that I've been talking about mostly, other than the Klan, they want to stop racism. That's their primary goal. But they have vastly different ways of doing it. I like this guy's way of doing it. I don't like Black Lives Matter. They just seem racist to me because, well, Black Lives Matter, they're putting it right up in front most. They are focusing on this group of people. Just like the Klan members focus on that group of people. When I'd much rather focus on all people. We're all human. We have our faults. But I think you can do a lot of good with a good discussion than you can do with a good punch in the face. So, yeah, this is a good film. It's definitely something that you can inspire to, Have a good conversation with people. Don't hate them because they think differently. And if you are like someone on the left, like very far left, yeah, it wouldn't hurt to watch this film. You may shut it off, like the two guys before, you may shut this film off before you finish it, just like the two guys left the two Black Lives Matters guys that left before their conversation was over. They just up and left. They didn't want to have a discussion. And they just came off as assholes. But yeah, this film was better than I was expecting. Much more centered than I was expecting. And that is refreshing. I mean, even Daryl Davis, This film was made in 2016. And one of the things we end with is, when Donald Trump got into the office, he said something, Daryl left kind of a rather positive note that about, the president, it's going to, help bring out these people, whether he intends to bring them out or not. Anyways, yeah. That last couple minute war, don't worry about that. That's not important. Although the fact that, well, yeah, it is important, but the quote itself, that's not important. It's the fact that he doesn't straight up say he hates Trump, and he thinks that it's going to be a good thing in the long run, is not a good thing for some people to hear. But maybe they should hear it. Anyways, I've mumbled on about this nonsense. 20 minutes? There's no way I was talking for 20 minutes. No way this has been 20 minutes. Have I really been talking for 20 minutes? I don't feel like I said a damn thing in 20 minutes. How have I been talking for 20 minutes? Well, something's not right here. I'm assuming that's part from the last take, because this is take 2. And I thought I hit stop and not pause. Because if I've been ranting on 20 minutes, I don't know if I want to put this up, because I feel like I said hardly anything in 20 minutes. Well, I guess that's about it for this one, because, wow, this has been a rambling. Alright, well, I'll see you later. Take care. And God bless.